Guys, on this week's Top 10 Most Anticipated, you might be surprised on which comics are on the hot seat. Or maybe you won't be surprised. Curious what you think. Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, I am your host, Mike Spider Slayer, always helping you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And today, guys, I am bringing you my top 10 most anticipated comics for January 19th, 2022. That's right, guys, it's never too early to start that pull list for next week. And maybe, hopefully, this list does help you make decisions on what comic books to buy. But before we jump into it, guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor of this video, which is Mutant Beaver Comics. Guys, they have over 1,000 exclusive comic books in their store. They provide worldwide shipping, best packaging, and guys, not only do they have comic book exclusives, but they also have toys and they have omnibuses as well. So you might want to check out all the things that they have to offer. You can use my promo code CORNER10. You can save 10% off of your entire purchase and future purchases after that. So mutantbeavercomics.com. The link is in the description box below. All right, guys, and kicking it off with the hot seat this week, I have not only but one, but two books. And like I said in the intro, you might be a little bit surprised. And the first one goes to Venom issue 4. Now, Venom has been kind of a really slow burn, disappointing story. When I compare this to Donny Cates' run, by issue 4 of Venom, there was a lot going on already, and it had you really intrigued. When it comes to Venom issue 3, it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't interest me. It's just like you got people from the Life Foundation chasing after Dylan and trying to capture him, and that's not very intriguing to me. And then obviously he's having bonding issues with the Venom symbiote. We have not seen Eddie Brock since issue 1, and I get there's a much larger story to tell here, but if you don't capture me very soon, I'm going to wind up dropping this, and that would be pretty sucky, because I have read so many continuous Venom issues now that I would love to continue this journey with the character. But if this story is just going to be a bore fest or a slow burn type of story, I don't know if I could stick with this, man. I'm just not feeling it right now, right? So it's titled Escalation Part 2. This is a $4 book, 28 pages. Then you're going to be surprised about this one, because I said I would never drop it, but it's The Amazing Spider-Man issue 86. This is Beyond Chapter 12. The only reason why I'm holding on to this book is because we are getting close to the conclusion now of the Beyond storyline, and we got this Queen Goblin storyline that's also getting ready to pop up, but this issue here is like, this is one of those comics that you will remember for years to come. Ben Reilly has been shaken to the core, and you will be too. Is this going to be really a comic that I'll remember for the rest of my life? Is it going to be a life-changing moment, like, say, for instance, The Walking Dead when Negan killed Glenn? Is that going to match up to that? Because that's where I put my standard when it comes to comics that I will never forget. Kraven's Last Hunt. Do you ever forget that storyline? No. I don't believe that this comic is going to make me remember for the rest of my life. Prove me wrong here, okay? But this storyline has been crap, and I am a little intrigued with the Goblin Queen thing, and then going forward with whoever possibly could be the new creative team. But man, oh man, this has just been a bad run here right now. 28 pages, $4. So let's get some positivity in here, and let's go to the book that's on the rise for me. And I actually really enjoyed the last issue of this. This is Detective Comics issue 1049. This is titled The Tower Part 3. we're dealing with Arkham Tower, right? And I love the feel of that comic. It just had like murder movie all over it, where a person is sitting there killing all the people inside, throwing out the doctor out the window and everything, and you felt like you had this, you know, great answer to Arkham Asylum, that they're finally going to get their shit together, and it was a complete fail, right? And I love the artwork in there. I think Tamaki has done a pretty good job on Detective overall, making it more feel like a horror comic. And what's cool about this book now is, nothing against good old Batman here, but Batman's not in this book. It's the Bat family. So if you want a book with all your Bat family in there together, this is the book for you, right? So I really enjoyed that last issue. Looking forward to this one. This one's 40 pages and $5. Okay, so now kicking it off number 10, I'm hoping for some type of good Spider book here, and it still has to do with Ben Reilly, but this is called Ben Reilly Spider-Man issue 1. This is titled The Humanity Agenda Part 1. So I don't know what's going to go on in this one, but it looks like Spider-Man, there's some kind of darkness that looms over New York City. Murders begin to pile up, but how are they all connected? I don't know, but somehow it's all tying into the Ravencroft Institute. It's kind of funny how I have two books back to back that have to deal with the crazies inside their facilities. So I don't know what to expect out of this. That's why it's lower on my list. I just want a good Spider-Man title to return. I am so desperate for that. And I'm giving every ounce of my energy to hope and pray that these alternate stories will be good until Peter comes back, but they just don't quite deliver. But if you're into this one's 28 pages and this one is $4. Coming in at number 9, we have Moon Knight issue 7. So, how do you fight someone that no one knows? Moon Knight is out for blood and hits the streets, armed only with a name, but he soon finds out that in the Twilight half-world of New York City supervillainy, sometimes the streets hit back, and while he's fighting his way through supercrime underworld, he better watch his back. So it looks like in this issue we could have a lot of different types of villains here. I hope and I always pray that Moon Knight will also continue to develop his supporting cast. It looks like we're going to get Tigra in this book from time to time, because she did show up, I think, in the previous issue, which I think she is a perfect companion to Moon Knight, and this book's artwork is absolutely gorgeous. The fighting scenes are always awesome. It's a great book overall. I'm looking forward to this. The reason why it's so low is because there's just a lot of other great books getting ready to come out this week. This one's 28 pages and this one is $4. All right, guys, moving on to number 8. This is a Jeff Lemire book, and this is Primordial issue 5. So we have our animals that have went to space, which is Laika, the little puppy, and Abel and Baker, which is the apes. They got lost in space, and we found out there was these two doctors that were trying to find them because they still feel that they're alive, right? At the end of the last issue, they sent out this ping, and hopefully it would make it to the animals. You also see the animals try to make their way back home, but they hit an asteroid field and everything failed, and now they wound up getting this signal, and that's where you last left off in the last issue. So let's see what happens when they receive this signal, and if somehow they can make their way home. The artwork here by Andrea Sorrentino is absolutely outstanding. He tells such a great story with the artwork alone, and love seeing all these characters' faces in here. I love this book. I'm so curious to see how this whole thing will wrap up. When it wraps up, I don't know when it actually ends, but this one's 32 pages and $4. Coming in at number 7, we have a Devil's Reign tie-in, but I'm definitely looking forward to this because it has to do with villains, and I love when villains have their own books or team-up books, and this one is Villains for Hire issue 1. So it says New York City is on razor's edge, and there's only one force fighting for the rule of the law in the chaos, Wilson Fisk's Thunderbolts. So I am really looking forward to this. We get the Thunderbolts that's back. Who is this team? Well, based off of what I'm seeing on this cover, I see the female Electro. We see Rhino on here. I see Taskmaster on there, I think, in the background. Can't make out the person that's behind him. Maybe it's Dr. Octopus. I don't know. But I am looking forward to this. I want to see how they enforce the law against the citizens of New York and obviously our heroes. What battles await them? What's their other purpose here? And what's going to be the outcome of these characters at the end of this event, if any? So this one is 28 pages and $4. Coming in at number 6, we have Animal Castle issue 2. Now, this book was very surprising. I didn't think it was going to be that good. I heard from the grapevine before it came out, don't pass up Animal Castle. I think one of my commenters said that. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And for whatever reason, this book just blew up, right? And everyone was after Animal Castle. And I don't know if the buzz is still out there for that. But nevertheless, the story was actually really well done. This is where all the animals rule the land. There's this castle. It looks like the ox is the king. The dogs are his little servants. And then there's everybody underneath. And basically what happens in the first issue is you see all the animals kind of revolt against the kingdom because they feel that they weren't treated fairly. But the way it was done, it was written so well. And it was kind of grotesque by the time you got to the end of it, and you feel for the character that wound up getting killed at the end of the issue as well. The only gripe I had about it was kind of like the dialogue and in the word bubbles. It was like hard to read that sometimes, but that's just nitpicking stuff. And it took a little while to get to the point where it's like, oh man, I got to get issue 2, but in the end, it paid off. I can't wait to see what happens in the castle walls where all these animals live. This one's 32 pages, $4. Definitely recommend this one. We move on to number 5, and we have Strange Academy issue 15. And it's titled, Your Wish is Granted. So, last issue, we got introduced by a character by the name, I think his name was Gaslamp, and Calvin was the boy who had that jacket that actually gave him his magical powers. But it wound up becoming this evil entity, and it took him over and caused chaos throughout the academy. Well, without that jacket, he is absolutely nothing, and now he wishes so bad to have some type of magic back, so he feels like he fits in part of the academy once again. So he comes across this guy that can grant wishes, and like I said earlier, his name is Gaslamp, and he grants him a wish at the end, and he's like, this one's on me, and then he's like, you can come back later if you like what you see, and then obviously it's probably going to cost him something. It's kind of like the writing's on the wall that Calvin's going to come back and get more powers, and it's going to make him slowly evil. But that was the story that was going on there. But the overall story of Strange Academy is quite interesting with all these casts of characters. You get to know them all little by little, and I think eventually it's going to lead up to something big. And Doctor Strange is obviously not in this book right now because of the death of Doctor Strange, but it's a good story, man. I really enjoy it. I think Scotty Young's doing a phenomenal job writing it, and Humberto Ramos's art style is perfect for it as well. So definitely always recommend Strange Academy. This book is 28 pages, $4. All right, next, you guys, blast from the past. We have 90s goodness getting ready to return. We have the Silver Surfer Rebirth. This is issue 1. They are back, guys, and we're talking about Ron Martz and Ron Lim back on Silver Surfer. They're picking off where it last, I don't know, ended, or who knows. But guys, this is coming off of my favorite Silver Surfer series ever. I love that 90s Silver Surfer run, and being that these two creators are going to be on this team again is so exciting. Now, this is only a limited series, unfortunately, but it does have to deal with the Infinity Gems, and they actually call it gem in the description because someone's stolen the reality gem, and I think that's badass that they go against it calling it stones. So I'm so looking forward to this. I am so curious if you guys are on board with this. Younger readers out there might not even be familiar with the 90s run of Silver Surfer, but I'm telling you now, you're gonna love this, and you're gonna love the artwork in this book. Look at that cover, man. And do we get Captain Marvel back? We'll see. 28 pages, $4. All right. Number 3, and some of you might be a little bit surprised still that this is so high on my list. This is Hulk issue 3. Now, Donny Cates has something grand, right? I just know it. And not much happened in the last issue, right? But you wind up getting to see some crazy shit where Bruce Banner was pushing the boundaries of his Hulk spaceship, right? Fighting this giant-sized Wolverine, kind of paying homage to the first appearance of Wolverine when Hulk and Wolverine fought each other. I thought that was kind of cool, and that's what Donny Cates always does. He always has great fan service, and we wind up meeting a Bruce Banner from a different universe, and that's how I got left, you know, at the end of the last issue. That's how you were cliffhanged, and it was kind of like, oh damn. And so now I feel like with Hulk issue 3, I think the real story is going to begin here, and I'm really excited for it. And I think Ryan Ottley's artwork is actually really well done here. Legacy numbering 770, 28 pages, $4. All right, guys, coming in at number 2. Now, you're probably wondering, why is this number 2? But we'll see. You'll see when we get to number 1. This is Nightwing. This is issue 88. It's back. Nightwing is back. The last issue, we wound up getting a wonderful illustrated issue where we just got to see 2-page spreads of Dick Grayson going after bad guys so he can get his dog Haley back. And that was so cool to see, man, right? But it didn't really... It was just like a fun issue. It didn't really progress the story that was going on right before Fear State. And I feel like now this story is going to start getting things back on track again and getting people excited about Nightwing once again. Tom Taylor, phenomenal writer. The artwork is on here. It is so well done as well. 32 pages, $4. Always buy Nightwing. So now, what is number 1? Another book from the 90s, a blast from the past that makes its return that I have been waiting for ages. And it's She-Hulk issue 1. Yes, Jennifer Walters is back with her own series, and not some stupid ass dumb Hulk, right? She is Jennifer Walters, the one we know and love. Maybe not to the point exactly like the 90s, but she is back to the Jennifer Walters who is that lawyer, who's quick, who's witty, who's confident, who's sexy, who's classy. That's the character that fans have been waiting for all this time. And again, she has her own series back out again. Hopefully you guys buy her book so she doesn't tear up all your X-Men comics, you know, as she claims in the 90s books, which is so funny. There's a ton of variants out there for it, but I am really excited for this book. So guys, if you want to try something new and you never read a solo She-Hulk book before, I definitely say go ahead, check this one out. Number 1 on my most anticipated. I'm crossing my fingers that this delivers, because all the other She-Hulk books that we've had in the past, I don't know, half decade have been absolute just horrible. The character's been written all wrong, and this is where it's at right now. So here we have it, 28 pages, $4, guys. So there you have it, everyone. There are my top 10 most anticipated comics. You can see there's some good ones getting ready to come out. I want to know what you're looking forward to the most in the comments section below, whether it's, like I said, on the YouTube channel or the Facebook group page. And guys, if you like this video, please, 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 always give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any content from me. And of course, guys, if you love my content, I'll always leave you more right here to check out. And guys, keep buying, keep collecting, and most importantly, read those comic books. Guys, I'll see you in that next video. Have a great day. Bye.